Welcome everyone to Fourth Line Theatre's first virtual play reading, which is an element of our new online event series presented as part of our Epic Women's Directing Project. I'm Kim Blackwell, the Managing Artistic Director at Fourth Line Theatre, and I'm so thrilled that you're able to join me today to enjoy Maja Ardal's reading of her play, You Fancy Yourself. But before we get started, I just have a few things to note. First off, I want to acknowledge our season sponsors, Nexicom, for their continued support of Fourth Line Theatre, and Exit Realty Liftlock as our major sponsor, and Supporting Roles Interactive Training for being the sponsor of our Epic Women's Directing Project. Thank you all. A housekeeping note, please be aware that if you mistakenly exit the webinar or have any technical difficulties, you can simply re-enter by clicking on the Zoom link we sent you earlier today via email. You can get back in the same way you arrived. Be sure to follow our social media, e-blasts, and visit our website to register for our upcoming virtual events. Every Tuesday in May, we will continue our Artist Talk series. Next, on Tuesday, May 12th, I'll be talking with renowned playwright, director, educator, Judith Thompson. On May 19th, I'll be spending some time with the fabulous actor, director, and founding member and resident artist of Soul Pepper Theatre Company, Nancy Polk. And on May 26th, I'll be chatting with the wonderful television, stage, and film actress Fiona Reed. All of these events will be over Zoom. They all start at 2:30 p.m. on the Tuesday, and you can register for them by way of our website. This afternoon, Maja will be doing a reading of the full play of You Fancy Yourself with some stage directions. I will come back on afterwards to chat with Maja for a few minutes. And now I'd like to introduce Maja Ardal. Maja, an Icelandic Canadian, makes her home in Muskoka, Ontario. She's been working in theater for 47 years as an actor, director, playwright, theater trainer, and producer. She has performed across Canada, the US, and the UK with her award-winning solo shows, You Fancy Yourself and The Cure for Everything. Her play, The Hero of Hunter Street, was produced by us at Fourth Line Theatre in 2016. Her play, Her Too, was produced in 2015 by Nightwood. During the 1990s, Maja was the artistic director of Young People's Theatre in Toronto. Her award-winning play, One Thing Leads to Another, Theatre for Babies, recently toured across Canada, and it was followed up this year by You and I, Theatre for Walking Babies, both produced by Young People's Theatre. You Fancy Yourself is directed by Mary Frances Moore. Maja is a multiple Dora Award-winning writer and actor. She was the 2002 recipient of the George Luscombe Award for Mentorship in the Theatre. Maja spent 7 seasons on CBC Disney's The Road to Avonlea playing Mrs. Potts. Upcoming at Fourth Line Theatre will be Maja's world premiere play, Wishful Seeing, based on the book of the same name, written by Janet Kello. Please join me in welcoming Maja Ardal.
Leith Docks, Edinburgh, Scotland, September 1953. Sofðu ástin mín, úti regnið grætur. Mamma geymir gullin þín, gamla leggi og völu skrín. Við skulum ekki vakna á dimmar nætur. The ship is quiet now. My tummy feels empty. Not woozy and sick like the last 3 days when green foamy sea pulled us forward to the new land, then sucked us back to the old. The air is foggy and smells of oil and fish. The drizzle has washed the color away, and I see no land, only a curtain of gray. My daddy carries the bags, and a cigarette hangs from his lips, making his eyes screw up like he's winking. My daddy never got seasick. For 3 whole days, he stood at the front of the ship and laughed and sang into the wind like a Viking warrior. He shouted, "I am coming to raid the halls of Scottish learning." While Mama and I sat bundled on the heaving deck, trying to remember that in this new place, we will have to speak only English and practicing words like, do you have a flat for rent? And hello, my name is Elsa. Today is the end of the in-between. Pappy walks fast like it's exciting. He leads us down the wet deck and steps up on the gangway, which squeaks and clangs from the ship far down to land like it's going to break. Pappy, Pappy, Peter, wait for me. The fog is lifting, and now I see rows and rows of chimneys sending smoke into the sky like the breath of 1,000 dragons. Edinburgh, Scotland. A few days later in a tenement flat in Edinburgh. Mama is scrubbing. She says she has never seen such a dirty flat. It's the bottom floor and there are bars on the windows. Pappy is unpacking his books. He says he is getting ready to raid the halls of Scottish learning. There's nothing for me to do. I'd better go and find out if there are any other children in Scotland. In the stairwell, the stone steps wind up and up and up. And right at the top, peeking through the iron railings, I see a face, a tiny white face. A girl. Hvað heitir þið? Viltu leika með mér? Komdu að leika með. Hello, my name is Elsa. Adele Monroe lives in the flat at the top of the stairs. I live in the flat at the bottom. She is like the elf children who hide in the mountains and never wash. But you can see how beautiful she is if you have the gift. I have the gift. She is scared of my mama because mama is very tall and she speaks like a foreign person. Hello, you have come to visit Elsa again? Yes, please. Elsa, komdu. Adele bíður eftir þér. Komdu. Hello, Adele. Adele looks like she wants to run back upstairs, so I take her hand to stop her being scared. Do you want to hear a story? Yes, please. So we sit on a stone landing in the stairwell and I open my golden wonder book that Daddy gave me so I can learn to read English. The fairy godmother waved her wand, and in a shower of sparkles like the northern lights, the mousetrap became a golden chariot of the Viking gods. A what? Cinderella's dress twinkled like the summer snow on the mountaintop. Oh, and her shoes were made of ice crystals from the cave of the mountain queen. Oh, get out of my road, you brats! The scrubbing lady has come to wash the stairs. She lives in the coal cellar, and I think she eats children. Go on upstairs, you dirty wee thing, and dinna you come down until I'm done. Adele has disappeared so fast. She is just like the elf girl who becomes invisible whenever there is trouble. Jöklinum hljóða dauðar djúpar sprungur. I have not seen Adele for a lot of days. Maybe she is not feeling well. I want to tell her the story of the little match girl because she looks just like the picture in my Golden Wonder book. Adele is thin and sad looking, like the little girl who sells matches in the street and then she dies in the snow outside the rich people's house. But then God takes her and turns her into an angel. I've never been to Adele's house, but today I am going to sit by her bedside and make her happy as she lies there all pale and dying. I put on my going out dress. It is red with butterflies. Oh, hello. Mind the soap. You'll fall and break your neck on these steps. Tell your mother to keep you in the house when I'm scrubbing. Watch my bucket. Watch you dinna kick it down the stairs and it hits someone on the head and it kills them. It's a long way to the top. Who is it? Elsa, I've come to visit. She's standing in the dark. She has her nightie on. Are you not feeling well? There's nothing to wear. She looks just like the little match girl. I have a new story for you. She lets me in, and right away I wish she hadn't. The air is thick with sick and pee and old things. Where's your mummy? Shh. She takes me down the dark hall into the kitchen. It's dark in here too. Is your mummy not home? Shh. There's a lumpy grey blanket on a skinny bed beside the stove. Mummy, can Elsa stay for a wee while? A hand comes out the blanket and I see her mummy's face. Her witch black hair is tangled on a pillow like claws of winter trees, and she's staring at the ceiling like she never heard, like she's dead with her eyes open. She says it's all right. Get me my fogs, Adele. Get me my fogs. Your cigarettes are beside you, Mummy. Light me one. Adele gets a cigarette and puts it in her mouth, then gets out a box of matches and lights it. She sucks it in and then she puts the lit cigarette in her mummy's mouth. Oh, the smoke smells better than the sick and pee. It reminds me of my daddy blowing smoke rings with his camels. Oh, can I tell you the story now? Bang! The door slams into the wall. What's she doing here? Her big brother Dennis. He looks like that growly big dog in the meadows that tried to bite me. You want to see what I got? What you got? Treasure. I'd never seen real treasure. He pulls something out of his pocket and he holds it high. A chicken foot. I watched the butcher chopping it off. See, it can still walk. He makes it walk on the kitchen table and it looks alive again. A foot with no body, no head, a living foot walking at me. Mummy, can Elsa stay for supper? My tummy jumps. My mama says I have to go home now. Down the hall, down out the door, down the stairwell, breathing in and out, down stone steps, past the scrubbing lady. I don't care what she's yelling now. Her sudsy carbolic smells like heaven, washing out the pee and the death breath. I don't look up, but I can feel Adele Monroe looking down through the iron railings, down at me, sending sadness all through the back of me as I bang on my ground floor door. Mama, up now. Mama opens the door and lets out smells of fish and onions. She pulls me inside. Hvar varstu, Elsa? Och vad gör som kjol? I had to wear my good dress, Mama. I was visiting. Konta borða. My daddy is at the table, blowing smoke rings. Oh, Mama, can Adele come to our house for supper? Það ekki nóg. But Mama, I'll share my helping with her. Ekki núna, Elsa. But Mama, in Adele's house, there's not enough to eat. They all have to share a chicken foot. They both look at me. Daddy's smiling. Then Mama puts fish and mashed potatoes on my plate. My tummy rumbles, and I think, maybe it was just a dream. Maybe I didn't go into the little match girl's house and see the witch mama and the troll boy. Tomorrow, I'll ask Mama to give Adele my old dress that I got too fat for, and then I'll tell her the story of how the little match girl dies, and then God takes her and turns her into an angel. September 1954, the Meadows. Adele and I skip hand in hand. We skip to the beginning of being big, to reading and writing and knowing the meaning of things, to the first day of school. There it is, Bransfield School, big red stone building like a castle with a fence made of iron spikes all around. Big boys and girls gathered in groups, all yelling and laughing and knowing each other. Mama takes my hand. Come to Elsa. She walks me up through the noise and chatter of girls with skipping ropes and yo-yos, girls in circles of secret whispers. Clang, clang, my heart jumps. Everybody runs.
2 straight lines, no talking. First year girls, come to the front. I am Miss Campbell, and you will be my class. You will always enter through the door marked girls. On the other side of that wall is the door marked boys. You learn together, you play a part. Now form 2 straight lines.
Do we come in too? I am the mother of Elsa. All the other mummies are waving to their girls and turning away, but my mama pushes up to Miss Campbell, holding my hand tight in hers. I am Svana. This is my daughter Elsa, and we just come to Scotland.
Oh, you're the foreign family. Oh, well, you don't have to worry about your girl. We will teach her proper English. You can leave her with me. They are in my charge now.
A girl with a long golden horsetail and a ribbon on top holds out a big bunch of red flowers to Miss Campbell.
Oh, a bouquet. How lovely. And you are?
June McCready. I'm adopted. A big girl with a scrunched up face runs and takes June McCready's hand. Can I be your friend, June? What's your name? Frances Green. I'm tall for my age.
Follow me.
I follow the Queen and her court into the castle of learning. And as a little hand slips into mine, I turn and see the match girl. And I am filled with love, for loyalty is everything. Together, we will learn the language of our rulers until we conquer the royal Scottish castle of the tall and the adopted. Elsa is learning Scottish country dancing, and during this time goes from 5 years old to 8 years old. Hark, when the night is falling, here the pipes are calling loudly and proudly, calling down through the glen. There where the hills are sleeping now, feel the blood a-leaping high as the spirits of the old Highland men. 1957, Bransfield Public School classroom. Elsa is 8.
Good morning, class, and welcome back from your summer holidays.
Good morning, Miss Campbell.
Now, children, you have all reached a turning point in your education. To be 8 years old is to be diligent and responsible. In the span of 3 years, you have developed from a ragged band of ignorant infants into a civilized class of upstanding pupils. Well, except for a few. David MacDonald, pay attention. And of course, Adele Munro, where is she today?
Here, miss.
Oh, sit up straight, Adele, so you can be seen, child. Now, where was I? June?
In the span of 3 years, we have evolved into a civilized group of upstanding pupils, Miss Campbell.
Well, thank you, June Macready. Today, class, we are going to hear how well you have done your homework over the summer. Hands up anyone who did not prepare a speech about the Massacre of Glencoe. Good. Who will begin?
Oh, me, please, miss, please.
Elsa Paul will begin.
In the olden days in the Highland Valley of Glencoe, the Campbell clan went to visit the MacDonald clan, and they were invited to stay the night because there was a blizzard. But during the night, the Campbell clan got out of bed and they sneaked over to the MacDonald clan beds while they were sleeping. The men and the women and the children were sleeping. Then the Campbells stabbed them and they chopped them up. They burned their homes, and the mothers who didn't get massacred ran screaming into the winter night with their babies, all covered with the blood of their dead husbands and sons, and they died of cold and starvation in the mountains of Glencoe.
Your little presentation, Elsa Paul, was not entirely worthy of historical accuracy. It was tainted with exaggeration and coloured with the gaudy coat of fancy. The MacDonalds were not innocent victims, were they, David MacDonald? They were thieves and robbers. They stole cows.
But Miss Campbell, if someone invites you to sleep the night, you shouldn't massacre them.
Impertinence!
Pardon?
Your flights of fancy and lack of good conduct are surely just because you're of foreign stock. This also explains why you missed out the most important fact of all, the date.
1957, miss.
That is the year we are in, girl.
Oh, why do I not remember? I want to be so good. So Miss Campbell will love me and put me in the desk at the front of the class next to June Macready.
Sit. Now, somebody tell our little foreigner what year Glencoe occurred.
I slide in my back row desk beside David MacDonald. David MacDonald has one squashed ear. It's smaller than the other. Too small to be a real ear, like a baby potato that never grew right and got left to go bad at the bottom of the sack. My desk is at the squashed ear side of David MacDonald. David MacDonald has short yellow hair, so short you can see the skin on his head. It's pink and nice under the fluff, but his nose runs green and his knees are grey from getting into trouble. David MacDonald drinks beer at home. He's allowed, he told me. He says he's never cried, even when he's hit. He says nothing hurts him, ever.
The year, children, what was the year?
And all of a sudden, it comes back to me. You know, like when you don't try to remember, you remember? I remember. Oh, please, miss, pick me, I know. She swings her long pointer around the room and aims it at David MacDonald. His tongue is licking the green worm coming out of his nose. His eyes are crossed looking at it. He didn't hear because of his ear, but nobody knows except me. I don't want David to get the strap. It's not his fault. He was dreaming. And I can't tell Miss Campbell that he didn't hear because then I'll get the strap for impertinence. So I hide my mouth behind my hand so Miss Campbell won't see. Wake up, David MacDonald, 1692, slithers out of me and in the round black hole in the potato ear and drowns in the bit of his head where the beer is. And he keeps sucking the long green worm like it's the best tasting thing in the world.
David MacDonald, stand up now!
Miss Campbell marches down the rows of desks and grabs his ear, but can't get a grip because it's the potato. So she pulls him by his yellow hair right to the front so the whole class can see. Everyone's looking down at their desks, trying to be invisible, except me. And then she speaks in the special voice that makes the milk in my tummy grow sour.
What happens to children who don't pay attention?
He looks at her like he just woke up and doesn't want to. Then she lets go his hair.
Oh, you pitiful lot, you MacDonalds. Looking at you makes it so clear why you let yourselves get massacred.
She opens the terrible drawer that hides the leather strap, and David MacDonald wipes the green worm onto his hand and down his sleeve. He holds his slimy hand out without being told, and he looks at me sideways with eyes all narrow, his lips pulled back, showing the gap in his little brown teeth like he's going to bite or laugh. I look away. I'm not as brave as him, and I don't want to watch Miss Campbell massacre the last of the MacDonalds just because he was dreaming. School playground. Elsa is 9 years old. The bell, the old school bell. Adele Munro is scared to tell. She has no knickers, just as well. She peed them and they made a smell. She peed them and they made a smell. Adele Munro is standing, knees a knocking, hands protecting the hem of her skirt. I see the backs of girls. They form a fortress. No, a prison. Adele Munro is inside, her back against the iron spike railings. They're going to pull her skirt up to see if it's true she has no knickers on. Someone told, someone said she peed them and didn't have another pair, so her mummy sent her to school without any underwear. Adele Munro is crying but makes no sound. She is doomed, and so am I. I should be beside her, standing up to all the girls, fists up, chin out, sticking up for my best friend. But really, she should not have told her secret. I don't know how to keep them. Let's pull up her smelly skirt. I'm not touching her. I don't want to get my hands dirty. Elsa Paul, you're her friend. You do it. Go on, do it. All right, I will. I don't want to do it. If I pull up her skirt for all the girls to see, I'll break the magic spell of Cinderella and the match girl and skipping home hand in hand with daisies for our mummies. I have to think of something. Get out my road. You're all in my way. They move back. They've made a space. I burn my eyes through her tears and think hard so she can hear. Run, Adele, there's a space, run. But her eyes are saying, you won't hurt me, you'll protect me, you're my friend. I'll have to give her a push, not so she'll fall down, but just so she'll escape. Escape! She falls against the iron railings, but now she takes hold of a spike, swings herself up, and like a cat, she's on top. The spike's all pointed up, waiting for one little slip. Then she leaps and lands outside the playground. For a second, she looks back through the bars at me, and then Adele Munro runs. She runs so fast, I can't see her feet touch the pavement. She runs so fast that the wind lifts up her skirt. It lifts up her skirt and it shows. It shows everybody saw. They saw. There's dead silence. Nobody knows what to do. Francis Green slides up beside me. Good riddance to bad rubbish. The spell is broken into giggles. Then June McCready starts to trot around like a horse. This is my best black stallion. Who wants to ride him? All the girls have got their hands up, except me. I pick. I pick Elsa Paul. Now, everybody get on your horses for your first lesson. This is my horse club. If you want to be in the club, you do everything I say. Follow me. I join the herd of horse girls trotting obediently behind June. My throat has a stone in it, telling me to cry, even though it's not really my fault. A week later, Elsa reading a letter. Dear Adele, I was trying to help you escape. Sorry, I don't know how to keep a secret. Love, your friend, Elsa. I've kept the letter in my pocket for ages and now it's old and crumpled. She's never on the playground anymore. When the bell rings and we all line up to go into school, she comes running in at the end of the line just before the doors close. She sits at the desk near the door. And when the bell rings for playground time and we come out to play, she's nowhere, like she flew up in the sky. Sometimes when I'm walking home, I see her running across the meadows. She never stops to pick daisies anymore. Oh, it's Saturday. It's raining. Mummy's doing the washing down among the mice in the scullery. Daddy is staring at the wall with his book on his desk. That is his job. And I'm not allowed to disturb him. I have nothing to do. I'll go up and slip my letter under her door. Oh, the scrubbing lady. Hello. What do you want, eh? I'm going upstairs to my friend's house. Oh, you should keep away from that house. The smells that come out from under that door make you wonder if there's no a dead body inside. Oh, there's voices inside Adele's flat. Oh no, her brother Dennis is yelling. I slip the letter under the door and turn to go. What are you doing here? He stands in the doorway, keeping it almost closed. The letter must be lying on the floor behind him. Nothing. You're no here for nothing. You can't come in. I wasn't asking to. You keep away from this house. I turn to run and he grabs my arm. If you don't stay away from this house, I'll come into your house when you're sleeping and I'll murder you. I can't tell Mummy about this because my mummy doesn't understand that Scottish people are very good at massacring people in their beds. She'll only make it worse. Elsa? She's standing in the doorway. She's holding my letter. Get back in the house now. Elsa, is this letter for me? Let me see that. He lets go my arm, turns to grab the letter. Adele ducks under his arm, takes my hand, and we run. She's pulling me so fast down the stairs. I'm nearly falling. Come back. You come back here right now. I'm going to kill you. That's the last straw, you children. I'm telling your mothers. My door is unlocked. Back inside my house. I'm out of breath, but she isn't. She has on the dress my mummy gave her, but it's too small for her now and it has a tear in it. Read the letter. Elsa, you knew it was my birthday today. Yes, don't open it. I'll read it to you. Happy birthday, dear Adele. Love from your best friend, Elsa. Do you think your brother will come down and kill me? No, he doesn't have time. He's got to watch the house. Why? I'm not supposed to tell. Is it because of your mummy? Where's your daddy? I don't have a daddy. Oh, you're nearly an orphan. I don't want to be. What happened to your daddy? He just never came back. Never came back from where? I don't know. Do you want to see something? I think so. We go into the closet. My mummy's old dance dresses. I'm allowed. She doesn't wear them anymore ever since we came to live here. When I open the box, Adele looks like she's seeing treasure. Mummy could sew anything. She'd make a wish and then she'd do it, like the good witch Glinda and Dorothy all rolled into one. And she didn't need a wizard, a wand, or ruby red shoes, just the iron singer. The what? The singer, sewing machine. Oh, come here, Adele. What do you smell? Mothballs? No, smell harder. Mummy's perfume. Evening in Paris. And Daddy's cigars for special occasions. Oh, yes. This is Mummy's Rita Hayworth dress. When she wore this, the American soldiers fell in love with her. Make a wish. What for? Anything. I don't know how. You never wish for anything? No. To be a princess or a film star? No. Well, what are you thinking about when I'm telling you all the stories? Oh, I'm not thinking, Elsa. I'm just watching you. Oh, well then. But today's your birthday, so you get to choose a dress. She pulls out the pink one. It has a rose on the shoulder made of twinkles. Now, hold your dress close to your face, close your eyes, and wish like this. I wish, I wish, I wish I was tall and slim and beautiful like Mummy. Now we get undressed and put them on. Take your clothes off. No! Well, I'm going to. Adele looks away as I stand naked. I don't look in the mirror Mummy put against the wall to teach me how to suck in my tummy. Mirrors have no imagination. There's no place like Hollywood. There's no place like Hollywood. I raise Rita Hayworth high above my head, and the green silk strokes my skin as she falls around me. I am in color. Adele is still holding her dress. Well, if you don't want to dress up like a film star, you can be my adoring public. Oh, all right then. I slip on dusty velvet pumps with wedgy heels and peeping toes. I sway my hips and stalk like a lion with flamingo legs, up and down the hallways, past the peeling wallpaper and the smell of last night's fireplace. I pause at the top of the grand staircase leading to the basement of dreams and pose so my adoring public can take pictures. I glide down the cold stone mountain through the basement valley, followed by my adoring public. I make my entrance into the cavern of the mountain queen, ready for her gasp of joy that I brought Rita back to life, ready for the smile that tells me I am queen of her heart. Mummy's hair's pulled back and tied up with a piece of rag. Her lips are tight from working, and she's saying something I can't hear because the washer is foaming at the mouth. And Mummy turns around and yells because the washer's overflowing and it was me who got in the way of its feeding. Mummy's turned her back now and pulling out the soapy mess and yelling in the mother tongue, which I forget. The steam is making my dress stick to my skin, and nothing feels right anymore. Rita doesn't belong here. She's come to an ugly place of dreams forgotten, a place where loveliness is not allowed. I turn to my adoring public, but she's not there. Instead, a slender princess stands, her golden hair cascading around her face and onto the wide glittering shoulders of the rose-colored dress. She lifts her head shyly to me, and as she does, a beam of sunlight pierces through the basement window and makes her into a film star. When did she do that? Why did she do that? I clump back up to the closet of old clothes and start to tug and pull my dress off. There's a tearing sound as I pull it over my belly. I hate this dress. I hate my belly wobble and my dimpled knees. I hate my stupid hair, brown and plain and jelly cheeks. I refuse to let her know what she looked like. I know how to make everything back the way it was. I will make Adele Monroe invisible. The rose-colored dress lies on the floor. Well, next time she sees me, she'll find out that she's invisible. Bransfield School classroom, 1959, Elsa, 10 years old.
The Scottish Song Contest is once again upon us, class. Now that you are seniors, one of you will be chosen to represent the school at the city-wide competition. And who knows, maybe this year one of you will go on to the nationals. Oh, dream on, Daphne Campbell. Anyway, this is a great honor, and I expect you all to work hard to prepare a piece from the glorious canon of poetry and song that has graced the history of Scotland.
David MacDonald drops his head on the desk and sighs. What's the matter with you, David?
I didn't want to sing.
David will never win the contest, but I don't want him to get the strap anymore. I wish he'd let me save him from Miss Campbell. You have to do a song, David. Everybody has to do something. Do your mummy and daddy not sing at home?
My daddy sings when he comes home from the pub. Celtic, Celtic, they're the team for me. Celtic, Celtic, on to victory!
That's a football song.
What's wrong with it?
Miss Campbell won't like it.
She won't like anything I do.
David never cried when Miss Campbell massacred him. I think that's why she doesn't like him, and none of the children in our class will talk to him because he only has the one nice ear.
But I think I know his secret.
He is just like the troll children from the stories back home. They're always dirty and their noses run green and they live in the bottom of the mountain. I am going to save you, David. I'll help you find a song.
I don't know how to sing.
David MacDonald really is a troll. I'll teach you. I understand you. Nobody in the whole world is going to help you except me, David.
Oh, well, I'll think about it.
A week later. Everybody, gather round me. Yeah. an announcement to make. I'm having a birthday party next Saturday, and I'm allowed to invite 5 girls. I haven't decided who they are, but you can only come if you have a brand new party frock. In the closet, I find the dress my mummy was wearing the night she first danced with my daddy. Lily white satin with lavender lace frills. A swift cut with scissors and the sleeves turn into wings. I chop the tight skirt till it hangs in playful strips, ready for the dance. Twirling around, dancing like a ballerina. Oh, Elsa, you look like you're going to a party. She's been waiting for me. Every day since I made Adele invisible, she waits outside my door to see if I'll talk to her. Can I chum you to school? I can be your adoring public. All right. You can be my friend all the way to school and all the way home, but don't come near me when I'm talking to the girls. They might not be nice to you. What do you know? I know what they're like. No, you don't. They will be amazed. I'm the dancer girl. Look upon me and tremble. All right then. Dancer girl prettily pouts her cherry lips and floats to Bransfield School, prepared for love and membership and admiration, ready to drop smiles like sugar upon the heads of Scottish urchins, grubby Bransfield schoolers who can never even dream of this. She pauses at the door marked girls and stands in dancer pose. A titter flutters up behind her, then another, louder. Frances Green steps forward, using height to conquer beauty. Look at Elsa fall in her stupid homemade frock. Frances Green stands tall among her dreadful army, giggly horse girls all around, ready to obey or be forever cast aside. Then Frances Green curls back her snarly lips and calls upon her queen. June Macready, what would you think if Elsa Paul came to your party in a raggedy frock like that? Who said you were invited, Elsa Paul? Elsa, you fancy yourself. Ha! Elsa Paul fancies herself. Ha! Dancer girl moves away, but something trips her up. She stumbles to the center of a playground filling fast with hostile eyes and hateful whispers and wonders how she never saw this coming. Someone yanks at her skirt and a piece comes off. Then something grabs her neck and pulls. The lavender lace unravels in the hands of Frances Green. As satin and lace are shredded to rags, the dancer girl twirling, protecting. Her dance is no longer the dance of dreams. Her dance is the dance of the fool. Frances Green gives a shove, and the dance is finally over. Frances Green stands astride her, grinning down, and in a poisonous spray of spit demands, "Who do you think you are?" And now she knows. That is a question she can never answer. Alone at home, she watches the satin and lace of dancer girl ablaze in the small coal fire. She dreams of climbing mountains, but not to search for elves. And in the howling wind of the Scottish glens, she hears screams of dying warriors. Hark, when the night is falling, hear, hear, the pipes are calling, loudly and proudly calling down through the glen. There where the hills are sleeping, now feel the blood a-leaping, high as the spirits of the old Highland men. She pulls a kilt out of a trunk, a tartan kilt, and puts it on. Towering in gallant fame, Scotland, my mountain hame. High may your proud standards gloriously wave. Land of my high endeavour, land of the shining river, land of my heart forever, Scotland the brave. 2 weeks later, June Macready got the mumps. There was no birthday party. There's been no horse club for 2 weeks, and now that Frances Green doesn't have June Macready to play with, she's trying to be all friendly, like she's sorry for what she did. I am making Frances Green invisible. Anyway, I've been busy helping Adele Munro for the song contest. She's too shy to have any talent, but I showed her some of my favorite gestures, like this and this. And I want her to look nice in front of the class today, so I washed her face and brushed her hair this morning, just like she was my little doll. She'll never win. The classroom.
Well, class, today is the day. The scoring will be on deportment, clarity, and of course, musical interpretation. And there will be special favour given to anyone who offers a song by the greatest poet of them all, our own Robert Burns. Oh, now who's first? Oh, June Macready. As always, well prepared. Are you feeling better now, dear?
Yes, thank you, Miss Campbell.
Oh, what do you have?
Oh, I have, whistle, and I'll come to you, my lad. That's your favourite poet, Miss Campbell, Robbie Burns.
Oh, lovely, please.
Oh, whistle, and I'll come to you, my lad. Oh, whistle, and I'll come to you, my lad. Though feather and mither and I should give my whistle, and I'll come to you, my lad.
Oh, next.
Please, Miss.
Oh, David MacDonald, Lord save us from bad to worse.
David MacDonald is going to sing? He's going to look like an idiot. He should have got me to help him. Everyone will laugh at him.
Well, perhaps, Mr. MacDonald, you will redeem your clan's honour in song. Oh, please, carry on.
Left my baby lying here, lying here, lying here. I left my baby lying here to go and gather blaeberries. Hoven, hoven, gory-o go, gory-o go, gory-o go. Hoven, hoven, gory-o go. I never found my baby. Oh.
Nobody's laughing. Maybe they're feeling sorry for him.
Elsa, my granny learned me that song.
Please, Miss Campbell, may I go next?
Oh my! The invisible girl has decided to appear today of all days. Well, wonders never cease. Well, perhaps, Adele Munro, your song will compensate for the poorest attendance I have ever seen in the history of my teaching career. But I must say, you look, well, you are surprisingly presentable today.
My love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. My love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. So fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee evermore till all the seas gone dry. Well, she didn't do any of the gestures I taught her. Why is Miss Campbell going over to her? Why is she bending down towards her? She's putting both hands on her shoulders. She looks like she's crying. Miss Campbell crying?
Adele Munro, dear child, the sweetest love song ever heard by the greatest poet ever read. I never would have imagined.
Me, my turn, please, miss.
Elsa Paul, before you burst.
Oh, cruel as the snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave of MacDonald. And cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house of MacDonald. They came in a blizzard, we offered them heat, a roof for their heads, dry shoes for their feet. We wined them and dined them, they ate our meat, and they slept in the house of MacDonald. Some died in their beds at the hand of the foe. Some fled in the night, were lost in the snow, like murdering foxes among helpless sheep. They slaughtered the house of MacDonald like murdering foxes among helpless sheep. They slaughtered the house of MacDonald. Miss Campbell picked Adele Munro. And then she said that David MacDonald should get honourable mention because he chose such a lovely song and it wasn't his fault he had such a croaky voice. June McCready's over there crying. All the girls have surrounded her. No fair. You should have won. You were the best, June. No fair. I feel like someone's hit me on the head. David MacDonald looks happy. Adele is trying to catch my eye. This is my fate. This is what happens when I try to help people. They bite the hand that feeds them. The girls are all looking at me. What are you all staring at? Did you see Miss Campbell's face when you were singing, Elsa? She was purple. Why? 'Cause she's a Campbell. You don't remind the Campbells what they did to the MacDonalds unless you're looking for trouble. But she won't do anything to you because you're a foreigner. I'm going to tell my daddy to talk to Miss Campbell. Well, I'm not. If I really wanted to win that stupid contest, I would have sung the same song as Adele Munro. Me too. Anyway, who wants to be Adele Munro? June McCready links arms with me and we swagger out into the playground. A gang of big girls mowing down the throng of mediocrity. I'd rather be part of this than singing in some stupid contest. The playground. Elsa is now 11 years old in the final year of primary school. Everybody trot! Now canter, gallop and jump! Woo, now Elsa, do just as I showed you. Elsa gallops around like a horse during the following commands. Tired of it, gallops badly, jumps even worse, slows down. Elsa, Paul, do as I say. You gallop and jump. If you don't do as I tell you, you have to leave the horse club. I'm fed up with taking orders from you, June McCready. This horse club is for babies. I am going off to the boys' side. There's a football game going on. That's a lot more fun than your stupid horse club. The big boys are kicking the ball around. Come on, give us a goal. There's your chance. Just as the boy with the ball is going to score, a piercing whistle sails over the playground and everybody freezes because that whistle had so much authority. The boys all turn and the canyon parts right up to the iron spike railings, and there, slouched carelessly up against a spike, black hair licking his eye, 4 fingers parting glistening lips, gazing into space, looking awfully like James Dean, leans Michael Bailey. And 100 boys hold their breath as if something's going to happen, something important, and Michael Bailey will be the cause. Clang, clang, 2 straight lines. Everybody runs. Michael Bailey doesn't budge. He looks through the iron railings in a prisoner kind of way. That James Dean despair that turns my knees to jelly. He could get the strap for not running into line, but he doesn't seem to care. Me neither. I take a breath and hold it in, and against the tide of scabby knees and elbows, I make my move. Heart thumping, but hidden by the swagger I've acquired that gives you status in a playground full of plots and downfalls. Twisting my mouth against the kiss wish that's boiling up behind my lips, I pepper my stare with a mixture of trouble and fun. And I plant myself in front of him as if I stopped by chance. Michael Bailey, how'd you whistle like that? Oh no, he's rolling his eyes like he's bored. He's left my question dangling like a lost sock. But could you show me how you do that whistle? Oh crumbs, I can't believe it, he's walking away, leaving me standing here all by myself in the boys' playground. The only girl, looking like she wants something. And I can feel the heat in my cheeks reminding me of their appleness and wish that they were gaunt and that my bum didn't exist. So in order to survive the humiliation of ignoration, I push a wee boy out the way, kick the shins of another, and I take off to the girl's side, hoping his eyes are burning into my back. But at the same time, hoping they're not because of my bum. Who does he think he is? I am itching to stick my fingers in my mouth and cut a canyon grander than his, itching to show him that I could stop a football game with my whistle as easily as him, and it would be even better because I am a girl. As I cross over to obey the bell and Miss Campbell's fist clanging the command of 2 straight lines, I see June McCready galloping up to form a line, her glossy golden ponytail swishing from side to side with a big tartan bow all crisp on top. I sneak behind her in the line, slide the ribbon off her head, drop it to the ground, and I grind it to death in the path of 40 dirty shoes. She never saw a thing. I turn and catch the beady eyes of Frances Green, who looks at me with new respect, or so it seems. Later that day, down in the meadows. After school, crossing the meadows in the rain, I get ready for revenge. Hello, Elsa. Can I walk home with you? I haven't talked to Adele much since she took first prize at the Scottish National Song Contest. But she's always around, waiting. No, Adele, I'm busy. I have to be alone. All right then, maybe tomorrow.
Now, it can't be that hard. You just stick 4 fingers in your mouth and you blow. You want me to show you or not?
Michael Bailey, where did you come from? Did he see me dribbling all over my fingers on my chin?
I want to tell him to get lost for what he did to me in the playground, but my tongue isn't working and my heart is doing little happy skips. His eyelashes are dripping with jewels of rain that shatter on his cheekbones as he blows a big pink bubble and catches it in his mouth like an expert. All right then, I'm away.
You can show me.
All right. See these 4 fingers? Watch close. His whistle swoops and sails across the meadows. Dogs stop barking. Football playing men suddenly freeze in mid-kick, and I watch close. His tongue and his 4 brown fingers lightly pressed on the tip, and I start to get a melting feeling somewhere between my throat and my knees. Go on, you try it.
And no, I can learn better watching you.
Why?
I can't tell him that I never want this melting feeling to stop, that I want to gaze into his deep brown eyes for eternity. Oh, it's just the way I learn. Oh, God. The silence between us, it's lasting for a lifetime. Oh, he blows out his gum and it lands between us. Oh, crummy, I wish I could pick up his gum and chew it.
All right. Meet me here in the meadows after school tomorrow.
Yes, yes, yes!
I don't say that.
All right then. I have my very first date, and it is with Michael Bailey. Oh, I fly all the way home. I fly through endless hours of ordinary things.
Who are those 2 people nagging at me to eat my supper and do my homework? What could those 2 plain old parents blethering away in a foreign tongue possibly understand of true love ways? At last I tumble into the bed of dreams, where Michael James Dean Bailey's whistle flows like a ribbon of pink bubble gum between my sleeping wet lips. Next day, Bransfield School playground. When the school bell finally bursts us out of Bransfield prison, the tumble of girls group into going home packs. Hello, Elsa. Do you want to walk home with me? Not now, Adele. I'm busy. There he is. Michael's trading football cards with a gang of big boys that part the ocean of lesser beings wherever they go. Oh, good. There's June McCready and Francis Green. Watch me now. Watch me pairing off with the untouchable boy you girls all dream about. Michael! Michael Bailey! Oh, they're not looking. Michael! Michael Bailey! See you in the meadows. What?
The meadows! Oh, look at Elsa, Paul. What have you got to be so pleased with yourself about? Wouldn't you like to know? Every day it's a getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Oh. I'll walk down the meadows, my heart fluttering with hope, as you come over the hill and see me. Your dark James Dean eyes will fill with passion, desire, and despair. Every day it's a getting faster. Everyone says go ahead and ask her. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. You whistle. Your whistle pierces like Cupid's arrow right through my heart. My legs go to jelly. Suddenly, you are beside me. I feel your hot breath against my slender neck. Another one faster than a roller coaster. You lean down and you whisper into my ear.
I didn't really ask you to meet me how to teach you how to whistle, you know, Elsa.
And I whisper back, oh, James, I know that. I will be your girl until I die. You lightly touch my trembling lips with yours. You're not going to come. He's not going to come. He's not going to come. The world is still. The rain has stopped. The earth feels good. Smells good. I smell my sweat and the dampness in my knickers. And I like it. A beam of sunlight cuts through a cloud and it chooses me. Fawr fiskur í sjó, röndóttur á halanum, með veiðikúl í maganum. Þetta, bretta, bráðum læt ég stóra höggið detta. Nobody come near me. I've got work to do. I'm dangerous. Next day at school, Adele is skipping and chanting. Bransfield School is a very good school. It's made of stone and plaster. The only thing that's wrong with it is got a bloomin'-headed master. Elsa, do you want to skip with me?
Skipping is for babies, Adele.
Come on, girls! There she is! Why are they all galloping towards us? Look who it is now! Here they go again, coming after wee Adele Munro. Leave her alone. Get lost. June, Elsa Paul told me to get lost. What should I do about it? You can't even think for yourself, Frances Green. You just take orders from June Macready like she's the queen and you're her slave.
You don't know your place, Elsa Paul. Why don't you go back where you came from?
Why should I?
'Cause we don't want you here.
You said the horse club is for babies.
And I saw what you did to June's ribbon.
That was my best ribbon.
And now we are going to get you back.
It's not Adele Munro they're after. It's me. The boys' side is looking at us, smelling a fight, and among them stands Michael Bailey. I know who you fancy. I'm going to tell. Yeah. I know who you fancy. I'm going to tell. We know who else fancies. We're going to tell. Oh no, how do they know? Oh no, they were watching me yesterday. I steal a glance at Michael Bailey. He's too far away to hear what they're saying. I'm calling the boys over so they can hear this. The massacre is about to begin. Michael Bailey is smiling. Like this is fun. David MacDonald's not smiling. He knows what this is like. Adele is behind me. A mass of horse girls in front. An army of boys waiting for the command to advance, and Francis Green rearing up, ready to expose the thing that will destroy my life forever. I've only got one thing left that I can do. Oh no, Francis Green, don't you dare. I'll call them. I'll tell them myself who I fancy. Oh, crummy, my heart's in my mouth. This had better work. Who wants to know who I fancy? They charge from everywhere. Hundreds of boys and girls, big and small, a hungry mob, thirsting for my shame. That's a great whistle. That's the best whistle I ever heard. That's the best whistle in the world. How do you whistle with only 2 fingers? Show me how you whistle with only 1 hand. What? Where'd you learn that whistle from? Who taught you to whistle like that? They're all gathered around me, gaping at me like I'm a film star. Who taught you that whistle? Nobody taught me. I just know. Clang, clang, 2 straight lines. Nobody moves. They're all waiting for me. They're making a path for me. Francis Green. You know who I fancy? Who? Myself. The boys run to obey the bell. I can see Michael Bailey standing alone at the back of his line with only 2 fingers in his mouth, and the sunlight catches a spot of dribble on his chin. All around me I can hear spluttering, dribbling, farting noises. They've all got 2 fingers in their mouth. Adele is still beside me. She's the only one in the whole playground not trying to whistle. I'll teach you if you like. You don't have to teach me, Elsa. I don't need to know. I slip my hand in hers, and I am filled with love. For loyalty is everything. A canyon parts for both of us as we enter into the Royal Scottish Castle of Hope through the door marked Girls. The end.
Yay! Maja, thank you so much. That was amazing. How do you feel?
Actually, I wanted to jump and run around the whole living room. It was actually fun for me to come back to it, and I'm feeling very special because I have people listening who can understand the Icelandic, and that really makes me feel.
That's so exciting.
Special.
It was spectacular. You are spectacular. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for asking
I wanted to ask you about the painting behind you.
Yes. Yeah, so this is a painting. I don't know, I can't see myself on the screen, so I don't know if I've got it. This was painted by a famous artist called Zeliko Kojundjic, and his daughters, these are his daughters, Kathleen and Claire, and they lived in that old kind of tenement, just like I did, that you see in that painting, these grim old stairwells that go up forever. And so I felt it would be nice to actually see this lovely piece of work as a sort of an inspiration. He gave it to us as a gift.
To your family, like when you guys lived in Scotland?
Yes, he did. Yes, when we lived in Scotland and everybody was so poor, they were Hungarian refugees and nobody had any money and the poverty was incredible. So, there was a little girl that is not Kathleen, but a little girl who was very similar, who was my best friend. And a lot of this is inspired by her.
And your sweater? I'm looking at your
Well, my
sweater.
sweater, I had to wear an Icelandic sweater, knitted by my dear friend Sigga Friðriksdóttir's mother, Þuríður. When I went to Iceland, I said, "Oh, I would like you to knit me a sweater," and she knitted this in less than a week.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Where did the genesis of the play come from? I don't want to keep you because I know I've just made you act your brains out sitting still. But where did the idea, the kernel of the play come from?
I wrote tons of poems. When I was a little girl learning English, I'm from Iceland. I was learning English, and I went to a very poor school called Brunsfield Public School, and a lot of the kids that went there were in a lot worse condition than we were, us little Icelandic girls, wearing our beautiful homemade dresses by our mother. And so I wrote poems and tributes to them, to the Adele Monroe character and the David MacDonald character. And I also wrote poems about my mother's beautiful film star dresses that she used to actually make in Iceland and wear to the dances. So somehow those poems all came together, and I thought, wait a minute, I'm a theater person. Why don't I try to turn this into a play? So I put the character of Elsa into the middle of it.
When was the last time you read it or performed it?
A long time ago.
Okay.
That's a really, really good question. It's possible that it was in the GCTC, Great Canadian Theatre Company in Ottawa. And that would have been, let me just tell you, it would have been in 2012 or 2013.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, 2013.
What was it like to revisit it, getting prepped for today and then today?
I actually felt proud that it still stays alive in me. I realized that I actually know the play. So you might have seen my eyes going all over the place because I didn't have to follow the script as much as I thought I did. It was made me very happy actually to go through the whole story again and to remember the way I wrote way back then, because I'm always writing.
Is the way you wrote
Oh,
it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the script.
This was published by Playwrights Canada Press. So this is the whole script, and beautifully published by Playwrights Canada Press. Yeah. So that was a very lucky thing for me. But really, it feels like it was really in my bones, that play, and I don't think it's left my bones, and that makes me feel very happy because I'm still a little Icelandic girl, as my Icelandic relatives and friends know.
Well, it's
true. Gaman að hafa ykkur
öll. Yes, something.
Yeah.
You spent like much more time in Scotland than you ever spent in Iceland, and of course you've been in Canada for almost 50 years, right? Or maybe 50 years now. How come Iceland imprints so much on who you are?
Because my parents were Icelandic. And my mother felt it was her duty to keep alive my relationships, my sister and me especially, our relationships with Iceland. And we always felt that our genetic and blood, emotional, everything relationship was naturally Icelandic, with the country. And we would go up to Iceland every summer, and my parents would go and work at the American Air Base to make some money for my father's studies. He studied at the university. And so we would live away from our parents for 2 or 3 months in the summer times. So we had a very intense relationship with Iceland, but we had a very natural sense of attachment because they were actually our blood relatives.
Right, makes sense. And are you Elsa? Are you Elsa purely, like, or were you?
Well, I had a sister, and I put her into the play, and then I had to get her out of the play because she was fast becoming the central character. But there are elements of Elsa that are definitely me, and this is it. If you dream it up, imagine it, and then it'll happen. And I actually always felt that the fantasy and imagination were the best way to live one's life. And that's basically who Elsa is. I just made her a bit more extreme.
Right. You have, and I don't know if this is an unfair thing to say or if it's just an observation, you have an ability, even though you're not a child anymore, to inhabit those children. How do you do it and remember what it was like and bring such authenticity, even in a reading now 7 or 8 years after the last time you actually performed it?
I think I'm frozen as a 5-year-old. I really believe that there are certain things about our lives that keep us sort of almost emotionally frozen in a certain age. And instead of being upset that I'm frozen as a 5-year-old, okay, I was a 5-year-old girl that when she looked outside the window and it was raining, all I had to do was put on a sundress, and then I'd walk outside and the sun would come out because I had put on sun clothes. And so I think I'm actually still that person. I still believe that anything can happen, like good stuff. I'm a pretty positive person.
Yeah. But you also, when you say that, it makes me think that so much about you as an artist and a human being is you dream your reality, what you want your reality to be, and somehow you make it happen. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, that's true. I actually think that you're born an actor. You can be born an actor. Actors are born. And I think I was born an actor, much as I write a lot now. I write my plays, but I'm always performing every single role in the plays, and I have my characters in my head. So I think in many ways, I believe that you become whoever you need to become in whatever situation you find yourself in. So I always thought that I'm a fluid persona. I've never thought of myself as a single type of person. I'm a fluid persona. I am whoever I need to be.
Okay, that makes total sense. Where are you right now? Just so everybody knows.
I'm living in happy isolation on 6 acres of beautiful Muskoka, on a piece of property that has so many trees that I'm beginning to think I know every single one of them because I love them so much. So yes, I live in Muskoka and I'm in my house in Muskoka.
Great. Well, I'm so thrilled and feel so lucky that you agreed to do the reading of You Fancy Yourself, because it is one of my very favorite plays and my very favorite performances of my whole life to have seen. So thank you so much. There's so many good comments. I'll make them all. Lindy and I will capture them all and get them to you, because there's been people clapping in the chat and saying how amazing you are. And yeah, it's just because you did it in isolation. Somebody sent me a text in the middle and said, does she know how many people she's performing to? And I said, no, not really. Like, we had an idea, but she has no idea. And they said, oh my God, that is unbelievable. You're just sitting in your house in the middle of a forest and you opened your mouth and just did that.
Well, I think it wasn't so much that I put effort into it. I just allowed all these characters to come alive and then just sort of work their magic on me. I actually, that's what I think I am, a medium for all these people.
Right. Of course.
Don't send me to the mental hospital.
I won't. But of course you would say that. Of course you would say that. So thank you so much, Maja. And thank you all for joining us. And I think that's it. I'm going to let you go. And with deep bows and deep gratitude from me, Maja, thank you so much.
And thanks again for inviting. Thank you to everyone who sat in front of their computers on this sunny day.
It's not sunny where we are. Where we are, it is raining.
Okay.
In the
Okay.